welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the second series of the broadcast. Welcome back. We just wrapped up with our first matchup. We can see here actually on the top of the bracket, Showtime versus Classic just concluded. Classic did just take down Showtime 3-1, and now we're getting into Clem versus herO. Let's go. Let us go. We're going to be getting into our next matchup. Bam! As you can see here, our players are ready. We have our cams going. We have our vetoes done. And we have our map order. Game 1, Tokamak. Game 2, Grassfawn. Followed by Sandworm, Pylon, and Maganatha. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Also, I do apologize. I actually just forgot I was missing out on my in-game logos. Hopefully I can get there in time. Beautiful. Oh. Beautiful, but here we go. But here we go. But again, we do have our map order. Now, I'm sure there are some people that are curious because Clem has been off-racing as Protoss a little bit. If you've been watching Clem over the past couple of weeks, every now and then mid-series, he has been switching to Protoss for PvP. Has been switching and playing PvP against herO, against Max Packs, against Showtime, against some of these other key Protoss players, again with varying results. He has won some games, he's lost others. Like it's been a little bit shaky there. I feel like Clem is still finding his way into Protoss, but we do have a specific rule set here for Maestros of the game. No off-racing, or I should say, you can off-race, but you have to commit to a race for the entire series. And Clem, he has opted not to commit to Protoss. He is playing Terran, so he's going to play Terran for the entire series. If you recall, Rainer was also asking this as well. Rainer was also attempted to play Protoss, but he couldn't because you have to commit for the entire series if you're going to play a race. So Clem is going to be sticking to Terran here, just like Rainer also had to stick to Zerg. So they have to stick to their main races. As unfortunately for this tournament, they don't have the flexibility to switch and go back and forth. They don't have that flexibility. Predictions? We'll start predictions once we start the series. Looks like there are some delays. Ooh, so I do apologize, but looks like there are going to be some delays here. I may have gone live a little bit prematurely, a little bit early, but looks like there's some technical issues over in the mainstream, so they do have to resolve that. Oh, sorry, I say technical issues. It looks like they were they had like a bit of like a, not a pre-show, but like an interview with Clem. Like pre-recorded, that's it, pre-recorded. So really cool. Really cool. Of course, a little bit biased, but the event is happening in France, so Clem is their boy, Papi. He's their boy. There's a lot of hype behind Clem. Of course, shout out to Comeback TV and shout out to all those working behind the scenes for making the event a reality, for crowdfunding the event as well. And of course, this is all going to culminate in a big offline event in Paris, in France, over in Europa. Oh boy. And that's still going to be at the end of the month. I should also emphasize that this is still the online portion. Yes, we're in the playoffs, but the first couple of rounds are going to be online. The second half of the playoff bracket, that is going to be offline. That's going to be offline. That's going to be at the venue. That's going to be with all the players flying on over to France to compete, to duke it out. And again, that'll be at the end of September. How are the bunnies doing? Ah, the bunnies. See, if I had a camera, this is what, bam, we cut to bunny cam. We cut to bunny cam, and we'll see them sleeping. No, they're doing well. They're doing well. They're in the other room, listening to the cast from the other side of the very thin wall between us. Ah, no, they enjoy the casting. They've gotten used to it. They've gotten used to it. They know, papi. They know. Estebanis. But exciting times, as I believe in a couple of days. In a couple of days, I'm gonna be opening it up for them for the first time so they can free roam the entire room. It's just been a bit of a slow process when it comes to bunny proofing, basically like getting like cord protectors and getting like edge protectors as well, things of that nature, just to make sure that everything's okay. Just to make sure they're safe, of course. Make sure they're safe. Oh, the bunny proofing. Here we go. Here we go. We're getting into our Fresh series. Our first series, our second best of five, a fresh best of five is what I meant to say. Players are ready, and game one is going to be on Tokamak. Let's go. In general, we do have a little larger maps here: Tokamak, Gresfon, and Maganatha. We have 3 larger maps in the map pool, and here we go. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the French Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss himself from South Korea. It is a herO.
Game paused.
Oh, as we do have a little bit of a pause, and hopefully everything is okay. Again, oh my god, that's a big cup. That's good. herO on our left, just like Classic, has got his, of course, trophy case behind him and guitar as well. As hopefully everything's okay. Oh, there we go. Looks like there was a bit of a hockey issue, but we're back.
Game resumed.
Let's get into our Terran Protoss. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. But I just saw in the chat, time to make the bunnies predict matches. True. If you remember, if you were here for the most recent, the last season of World Team League of WTL, they did have bunny predictions, where basically they would put down 2 bowls and then they'd have 1 bunny go in. And depending on who the bowl would go for, they'd assign a player or assign a team to each bowl, and the bunny would predict who would take it. Ah, no. True. We'll set that up one day. Otherwise, settling in. A non-Protoss and not Protoss tournament. I mean, Clem has been playing a lot of Protoss recently. It's just, as we mentioned before, Clem, he is forced to play Terran here, and only Terran. Just as a reminder for those that may be tuning in a little bit late, there is a rule in this tournament where if you play a race, you have to stick to the race. Clem did ask, he confirmed he wanted to play a little bit of Protoss, but he cannot, as he is stuck with Terran for the entire series. Meanwhile, it does pop up with the eBay block. It is going to be scattered early on, so here he will shut it down. From here, we're getting into our openers. Clem going for an economic start, going for a Vax expand. herO going for his own Gate Cyber expand as well. We're settling in. So standard opener out of herO, economic opener out of Clem. And Clem, he has been varying up his play quite a bit. There was a stint, like maybe 2 weeks ago, where Clem was playing a lot of mech. He was playing a lot of mech in this matchup. Then last week, he barely played any mech. He was playing a lot of bio instead. A lot of heavy ghost play into the mid game, into the late game. It was actually quite impressive to see. So Clem, he has been showcasing a lot of play recently. Some mech, some bio, some late game, some early game, some all-ins, some longer macro play as well. So Clem has been very diverse. I mean, in general, this is why I've been saying, that's why personally I do enjoy TvP, just because there's so much variance in Terran versus Protoss from both sides, from both the Protoss and the Terran. Meanwhile, we do have the initial Zealot does delay the CC. Very nice. CC is going to be delayed. Reaper going to be shut down. And Clem, unfortunately, did go for the add-on. He did go for the add-on instead. Has no setup back at home. The Reaper is not here. And this is a heavy delay for Clem. So a better start for herO, as he keeps Clem on 1 base for that much longer. Let's keep him on the 1 base. Again, bunker barely not done. 1 Zealot does go down. We just see herO trade, and he's rallying across the map with that Stalker. With 2 Stalkers even. He wants that bunker. Adept does fall. Can he push in? The bunker, it should not finish. Oh. I say that's a couple more seconds. Looks like we'll complete. Marines are coming to reinforce, and Clem holds. Ooh, even takes out the Stalker. That should not have happened. So miscontrol there by herO. Clem holds, Clem defends, Clem expands. Behind this is going for his 1-1-1 setup, going into Cloak Banshee, followed by, we'll see if he goes into tank or early Cyclone. At this point, it should be tanks. Ooh. Snipes the Reaper. Now, thankfully for herO, he's playing safe. What does herO go for? He goes for a robo on 2 bases. So he does not cut corners. It is not uncommon to see a player go for a third before their tech, but this is a third base after the tech, after the robo, which means herO will have detection. So detection is going to be available. The real question becomes, does Clem commit a little bit harder here? Tank production's on the way, Banshees are building up, and we could throw down extra Raxes and commit on 2 bases. We'll see when he does cut tank production. herO does zone away. Banshee rotating into the main. And Clem does get his CC in the main base. So going for his third. He opts to delay his second and third Rax. If you remember, that's what we're waiting for. If we threw down 2 more Raxes, indicative of hyper aggression, but here we see greed instead. So Clem is building up into the mid game. Oh, third CC into Hyperflight Rotors. This looks like mech. Uh-oh. So I mentioned at the start of this game, at the start of the series, how Clem has been playing around a little bit with mech 2 weeks ago. He did stop and he did veer away from mech in more recent days, in the more recent week, but based on this build, it looks like, yep, second factory. The big tell here was Hyperflight Rotors and the faster third CC. Rushing into a faster like this is indicative of mech alongside Hyperflight Rotors. That's why we did call it earlier, and now we have the factory to confirm. Now, herO, what did he say? herO, he saw the timing of the third CC. He saw the 1-1-1. Based on what he saw here, and he saw the research as well, he can deduce that it's going to be mech, but I would say that he doesn't quite have confirmation, not full confirmation. So I'm sure mech is in the back of his mind. Meanwhile, the Observer's in position. Banshee does take a lot of hits, and herO does defend. Thankfully, the Banshees do survive. Hyperflight Rotors is crucial here when it comes to maintaining map control, maintaining a threat to the bases, and slowly getting value over time. Especially for a player like Clem, like a Speed Banshees in the hands of Clem has a lot of potential to snipe some key units like High Templar and of course Workers as well. Meanwhile, herO, he's on how many gates? 8. Ooh, he's on an 8-gate setup here. No gases at all. No gases at the natural, no gases at the third base. Charge only just now beginning, unfortunately. So, I think that's an overstep. I think that's an oversight. Charge just began. We're warping in Zealots. We're coming in with slow lots. Charge should have been done by now. Does blink in, takes down the first tank. We got the slow lots. Slow lots pushing forward, and alas, oh, the Observer barely keeping up, getting on top of the second tank. Second tank goes down, still warping in more slow loss. Let's go. Observer, ooh, he's with the main army. Scan takes down 1 Observer. Backup Observers coming in. Clem does hold. Clem, he holds. He defends. Again, Charge is still on the way. But it will soon finish. And the goal here for herO is to break Clem before he gets into mech, right? Like, mech can snowball out of control with that third base. But herO, what did he see before? He saw the timing of the third CC. So he knows his opponent's being greedy. He knows he can punish. He's here to do so. Now, there's 2 tanks. Nice SimCity with the depot. Solid positioning as well. Clem is ready to receive. Ready to engage, but that's a lot of stalkers. Again, herO, he's going for the kill. Remember, no extra gases. Now getting another expansion, going for the gold. Blinks in, gets 1, gets 2. Nice snipe. Takes down both tanks. The Observer, oh no! The Observer pulls away. Observer gets sniped. Do we have a backup Observer? There's only 1 across the map. Yeah, no Observer with the main army. But the Banshees are running out of energy. Yeah, they're running out. There's 1 cloak. There's 1 cloak between all the Banshees. Oh, 2 cloaks even. herO just poking in. Bit of a premature blink. There's only 1 tank though. herO can dive. He's going for it. Yeah, he's going for the dive. Blinks in. Goes to the Banshees. Ooh, does not focus on the tank. Yeah, that one tank gets a lot of damage on all the Stalkers. But despite that, the Zealot's breakthrough there. The Zealot's breakthrough. GG gets called. herO, he breaks the defensive line. He does not allow Clem to get into mech. And herO takes game number 1. Whew, GG. herO does take a lead in the series. Again, Clem, he was being very greedy when it came to his build, when it came to rushing into mech with that third CC. And herO, he didn't see and confirm the second factory, but what did herO see? The timing of that third CC. So herO, he was aware, and with that, herO was able to punish. herO, he was able to punish. And with that, we're now getting into our next game. We're getting into game number 2. As game 2 is going to be on Gressvan, another one of these larger maps. Now, when it comes to these larger maps, I do like the idea of going into mech, but we have to get there first, is the thing. And again, Clem did cut corners. He did cut corners trying to embrace mech with that faster third CC build. He was being greedy, he was punished for that greed, and we'll see if he commits into mech again on Gressvan. I do like this map for mech, but we'll see if we can get there. Here we go. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Gressvan, we have the French Terran player. We have the blue Terran. Oh, representing Team Liquid down in the series. We'll see if he mounts back and make a series out of this. It is a Clem. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing himself, currently teamless, but leading the series 1-0. It is a herO. Go. Hello, Clem. As Clem, he does skirt around the edge of the map. He does avoid the main scouting path. And the SCV does move in for another eBay block 2 games in a row. Does move in with the block. Because it's 2 games in a row, then maybe there's a lower chance that herO will check. And herO, he's not checking. He's not checking, which means herO, he may just be forced to expand at the 3rd location instead. A much better start for Clem. Yeah, much better start. Plenty of progression. Now herO moves down. Late scout here from herO. And now herO is going to be forced to expand. Forced to expand at the linear 3rd location. Ay, ay, ay. And rough position here for herO. And Clem, he can punish this. He can punish. We'll see if Clem goes for a factory before... Oh, he's getting a bunker. A bit of a misread here, but there we go. Does rotate down to low ground. Now he sees the expansion, and we should be seeing it cancel. Yeah, there it is. So again, a little bit of a misread from Clem. But overall, Clem, he's going for the factory before CC, which means Hellions before expanding, which means we can move out. We can move out with this. We can try to punish. We can try to deal economic damage. We'll see if he does go for Hellions or if he does go for Cyclone setup instead. My eyes are on Clem. There's that CC on the way on the high ground. Just to be safe. Oh, okay, so it's going to be factory directly into the tech lab. There are times where we see factory into add-on swap into reactored Hellion, but that is not the case here. Which means we can go for early Cyclone production instead. Ooh, and that is a second Rax. Seeing a second Rax this early on before the starport is indicative of seeing a third Rax before the starport. If we see a third Rax, then this is going to be a 2-base all-in. We're waiting for that third Rax. Yep, there it is, third rack. So 3 racks before the starport. From here, we're going to be building up a heavy bio army. We can go into early stim for an earlier stim timing, and then with this, you can pull the boys. You can pull the boys, you can commit across the map. Now, technically, Clem still has the option to get a starport, get into draw play instead, and get into an economic game, and go into a later third base, but for the most part, we do expect him to commit on 2 bases. Tank production has begun, and this does hit typically with around 3 tanks. Meanwhile, it's going to be an awkward defense for herO because he's spread out. He's spread out here between his main base and between his natural, which is at the unnatural location. So it's going to be a very difficult defense for herO. Not impossible, but difficult. herO opening up Blink. He does have a 3rd gate on the way, so 3-gate Blink Stalker. Hallucination moves out, and herO, he needs to get eyes on the production. He needs to confirm. Speaking of, he does zip in, does confirm the 3 racks. He knows. He sees stim, he sees tank production, sees the tech lab, sees the lack of starport. herO throws down a robo before expanding. Wise move. Needs to have robo, takes Strict Gas Geyser. Immortals are going to be a must. Immortals are going to be an option here for herO to defend, to survive. Rushing into charge, and Stalkers are being proactive. herO, he needs to slow this down. Oh, Jesus. As Clem is already being active. Tanks to siege. Massive tank shot. Oh, good. Tank always going off. Now, Clem does get a starport and he gets a eBay. Gets an eBay for +1. This is indicative of a later timing, actually. As he stops tank production. So in my mind, he would have kept the factory on the tech lab, made 1 extra tank that would have hit with stim and combat shields, and then you pull the boys and you commit into a 2-base all in. But here he goes out of the tech lab into the starport into an eBay, which means there's a higher chance here that Clem expands. Hallucination sees the army. Hallucination confirms the add-ons, confirms no additional tanks, so it has seen enough here to make it look like Clem is building up into a longer game. So bam, Forge. Forge for +1, Bay for Colossus, and soon an expansion. Now this is a late 3rd base for herO. In a standard game, the 3rd base would already be up and running, but because of the build of choice from Clem, herO, he delayed his 3rd heavily for Immortal production and for Colossus production, anticipating an all-in. Now he's scouted, confirming that there is no all-in, so now he can expand himself, but it's going to be a late expansion. So late 3rd base out of herO. Just because of how the early openers did play out and pan out. There's that CC. As we mentioned, because of the add-on solved and because of the eBay, this did look like we were expanding, so Clem does expand. And again, hero's aware. Like, here he knows. I mean, now he confirms. Never mind. Here, he has to be careful. Does catch him at the back. Gets 1, doesn't quite get the other. Ooh, almost getting surrounded. Here, bleeding out 1, bleeding out 2 Stalkers, 3 oh god, 3 Stalkers go down, expensive losses. Here comes the main push. Here comes the main army. And he's got 2 tanks. Pushing in between the bases. Thanks to siege. Force fields will slow this down. Nice snipe on the Cyclone. Cyclone gets sniped. Marines a stim in. There's just not enough support here, and we take down the Colossus. Massive pickup. Without the Colossus, it's going to be such a difficult hold. Oh, the Zealots though. Zealots warp in just in time. But Clem should have enough. Should have enough to overwhelm. There is another Colossus, but the Colossus is exposed. Colossus should go down. Yeah, stims in, takes down the Colossus, and from here, Clem, he should just snowball out of control, breaks through the natural base, just not enough army here. herO's third base was just too late of a third base. As this was a later timing, a later push. And with that, Clem ties things up. GG. Clem ties up the series 1-1. We have a back and forth. We have a series. GG. GG, well played. Again, herO, he was terrified about a 2-base all-in. He was terrified, he was setting up, and because of that, he put himself behind. He put himself behind because Clem didn't go for a 2-base all-in, because Clem went for a later timing. Because of that, herO would have reaped the rewards of a faster third base, would have had a better economy, a larger army, would have had a better setup there, but alas, again, he stayed on 2 bases because he was terrified about what Clem was doing. And it was only later that he realized that Clem was going for a later move out, a later timing, a later push. GG. GG well played. With that, Clem does tie things up. Now we're getting into game number 3. Game number 3 is going to be on Sandworm, a much smaller map. So we go from the larger maps like Tokamak and Gresvan into one of the smaller maps like Sandworm. And with this, the rush system background, of course, is going to be shorter. Some of the bases are a little bit more exposed. We'll get into it depending on how our players do expand. Gold bases are going to be a factor. True, gold bases are available to us. We'll see if we go and commit into any of the golds. Let's go. Let's go. The center cones can also be impactful just because they will delay all-ins, specifically tank-based pushes as well will also be delayed. So that may factor in. Let's find out. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Sandworm, we have the French Terran player. We have the French Terran. We have the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the red Protoss player. The red Protoss player himself from South Korea. It is herO. Here we go. We find ourselves in game number 3. And again, welcome to Sandworm. Sandworm, once again, is a map from the previous Team Liquid map contest. We did feature this quite a bit in our tournaments. Not just our tournaments, but tournaments in general did feature Sandworm for quite some time. Unfortunately, did make it when it comes to the upper echelons of TLMC, but did not make it into the ladder. Here we do have these center goal bases, which do allow you to take them quite quickly, actually. The rocks are meant to make it slower to expand and slower to take, but to be honest, it doesn't take long at all to knock down those rocks and to claim the gold bases as a third. So we have seen many players claim this base as a third expansion. We'll see if either one does go for that this time. For the first time this series, Clem does not eBay block, and herO's paranoid. So herO, he's checking his scouts for a proxy, he checks for the eBay, no eBay block, no proxy. So Clem kind of getting into the head of herO and forcing some inefficiencies out of herO as well. Meanwhile, economic opener, single gas, so ranks expand out of Clem. Does go for a more economic start. Again, much more economic. From here, we're just calming down. Once again, Twilight Council opener out of herO. herO, he has been known to mix in robo-based openers or Stargate openers, but we have yet to really see that and experience that this series. So far, every game, it has just been Blink. We've seen different variations, like 2-gate Blink, sort of save different variations. We've seen 3-gate Blink, and we've seen some more defensive follow-ups or some more greedy follow-ups. That's really what we're waiting for here. Does herO stay on 2 bases? Does he get a robo? Or does he take a faster expansion? Waiting to see how herO does play. As herO picks in. Oh my god, speaking of going for the same opener, I was alluding to seeing 3-gate blink again. That is 4-gate blink Stalker. Hyper aggression out of herO. herO is not going to take this line down. The gateways are going to be getting up and running, and it's going to be on Clem to figure out what the hell is going on. As Clem, he has not scouted. He did scout with the SCVs earlier, but that is it. You can see here, no Reaper scout, no Hellion scout that doesn't make a Hellion or a Reaper. Instead, going for the Widowmine drop, and he's relying on the Widowmine to figure out what's going on. He's relying on the Widowmine scout. Widowmines are on the way. Here comes War Prism. Here come the Mass Stalker. Now back it up. We need tanks. We need tanks as quickly as possible. We need them in position. Do we need them? Medevac boost in. Does boost. Widowmine shot's gonna be. Jesus! Widowmine shot's going up. Oh, and does dodge, but that's still 6 probes. 6 probes go down. Ay, messy defense there out of herO. That should not have happened. And now it's go time. Now Clem, what did he see? He saw 2. He saw 4. Yeah, he knows that there's a 4-gate setup here because he knows that the first gateway was in the main. So 4-gate blink at Clem back at home. Very nice SimCity. He fully walls up his main base. Tank behind the wall. Back on the low ground. There is a bunker. There is no second tank yet, so the bunker is exposed. herO, he could break the low ground, as herO doesn't know what he's moving into. He hasn't seen the SimCity. Zelda is here to tank the tank shot, but there's no tank. Does wing it. Oh, gets a medevac. Medevac goes down. Tank on the high ground. Decent juggling here. 1 Stalker does fall. The boys are being pre-pulled. Boys are being pulled. That was okay damage. But remember, herO, this is a 4-gate blink Stalker. He needs to find more damage. He needs more than this. He needs more than just a medevac and a handful of Marines. Now he's diving on the tank. 1 tank goes down. Ooh, the other tank does shell away. So nice positioning. Yeah, Stalkers are going down. But it looks like we'll not get the bunker. Bunker survives. Yeah, bunker does survive. We're trying to blink back. Stalkers getting insanely low. Gets 1. It's 1 Stalker. Meanwhile, that's got the SCVs. The mineral line, 18 SCV kills. Now Clem, he will force the army out of the natural. Stalkers, they barely do get out, but hey, he cripples the economy. Clem down to 30 SCVs. Going for another warp in. Here he's here to kill. This time no bunker. This time barely any Marines. Remember, there's still no stim. These tanks are exposed. He could try to blink in. Oh, rotating. Nice rotation here. There's 2 tanks at the natural, 0 tanks in the main. The Observer confirmed. The Observer saw everything. He's going for stim, but he gets combat shields. Unfortunately, he gambles a little bit there. Oof. Tank volleys popping up. So many Stalkers going down. Here he overextends, and stim is complete. Stim is done. Nice little warp in. Very nice little warp in. But Clem defends, and remember, Clem, he held on to stim. But the economy, another 10 SCV kills. And herO expands, not just expands, going for the gold. He's going for the gold base. And unfortunately, Clem, he lost a tank. He has no pushing power, right? Yes, Clem survives. Clem, his economy is crippled. You would expect Clem in this position, he has to go for an all-in. But because he lost so much supply, he has no all-in. He has nothing to push out. He has to wait for combat shields, he has to wait for reinforcements, and because he's waiting, that means that herO will get away with the goal base, he'll get away with extra warp-ins, and herO, he should be able to survive the eventual counterattack. Should be able to. Right now, the army supplies is similar, but the soup does lie. The soup should change. Nice harass in the main. Rocks are being knocked down. Clem moving out early on. Remember, yes, Tim. True. Stalkers are dealt with. The boys are being pulled. 2-base all in. Like, he's got it all in. This is it. It's all or nothing. Army gets spotted. Army gets spotted. Gets one Marine. Remember here, he does not have to defend the gold. There's no need. Pulls away. Here he has to take it slow. Just take it slow. Pick away at the SCVs. Get some free damage. Zealots and Stalkers, they warp into the main base. Again, they're just forcing the all-in. Ooh, Prism goes down. Prism goes down. Clem defends. Oh, crazy blink! Oh no! herO! That was not the blink to go for. It's a lot of Stalkers going down. herO, he gets 12 more SCVs. Clem did kill the base. He's going back to mining. Clem, can he macro out of this? The army's pretty impressive. Like, the army's pretty intense here for Clem. He has a larger army. herO, he doesn't really have much to work with here. If he's not able to force field. Yeah, he's not able to. He does miss the force fields over the ramp. And Clem is snowballing out of control. He's snowballing out of control. He's rallying everything across the map. Clem, he has an overwhelming army. And herO, he never got the gold. He never got the gold base. If he was able to save the gold base, then different story. Oh, as he barely gets the tank. Tank goes down. herO, he needs one more wave of reinforcements. The army's overextended. herO, he's holding. He's holding on. Oh my god. He needs another warp in though. Just barely hanging on. Still no expansion. You could argue. I mean, I say you could argue. 100%. Clem has a better economy. Clem, he's up in economy. He has mules. Both players on 2 bases. herO without a 3rd base, he cannot recover. As herO does desperately need that expansion. Clem does get into the main. Nice, very nice retargeting. Jesus. Gets a Stalker. And again, this 3rd base is very late for herO. Clem's ahead. He's just ahead. Just straight up, he's just ahead. His own 3rd base is about to finish up. Means he just land. The bio army is just more efficient. It's just a more efficient army here than what herO has. A man with gun is pretty good. It's pretty good. And again, here he was so close to just straight up ending the game. If he had sniped Stim, if he had gone for the other tech lab, then maybe. Maybe. Clem does Stim forward. Storm is complete. Okay. Storm lands. That's mine shots are going off. The mortars are exposed. They barely hang on. Nice control out of herO. Kiting and trading as best he can. He's holding on to one more storm. Again, we're getting very intense. You see Clem dropping across the map. Army's out of position. Oh, never mind. Does recall in time. And his recall is now on cooldown. Still a very tense game. Shout out that herO with a miss rally. He will lose 1 immortal for free. Expensive loss for herO. Oh, the mine shot. Mine shot goes off as well. Yeah, shaky engagements here for herO. Storm doesn't connect. Another storm only graces the army. These storms have been very lackluster. No. I think that Archon's stuck, right? Yeah, he morphed in. No, he morphed in the Archon in the currents. He can't move. No, herO. The High Templar is trapped. Get out of here. Get out. No, no. Yeah, that shouldn't have happened. And again, the Archon cannot move. Again, he morphed the Archon inside the currents, so he's trapped. No. Feels Archon, man. Ay, ay, ay. He's in jail, Pap. He's in. Let him out. The Archon did nothing wrong. Okay, we got the prism. The prism has arrived. Bust him out. Oh, no. Yeah, he was laughing. As the hero. It's like, mate, this map is crazy. Oh, ooh, prism goes down. That was what, 3 High Templar inside. And Clem, you should just snowball from here. You should just snowball from here. Catching up the army, the High Templar, the prism. Yeah, you can see the hands in the air for herO. Ay, ay, ay. GG gets pulled, and Clem, he will take a 2-1 lead in the series. GG. Ay, ay, ay. This was herO's game. This was herO's game here. He had so much potential at the start of this game as well with his 4 Blink Stalker. He was doing so much damage. He was popping off. He was catching out the tanks. He was breaking the bunker, getting economic critical damage. But he did choose to go for the gold. He chose to go for the gold base, which is more exposed. If he had gone for the standard linear third base instead, there's a higher chance he would have saved it. A much higher chance he would have saved it, would have defended, and from there would have just taken a lead and ran away with the series, ran away with the game. But he chose to go for the gold, and he was punished for it. Clem, he was able to break the gold expansion, able to catch out some key units, and from there herO fell behind. Once herO lost a third, he fell behind, he stayed behind, and Clem was able to pull off the comeback. GG. GG, well played. With that, congratulations, or shout out to Clem. We are going to be going on a very short break. We're going to be going on a short break here, 3 minutes. When we come back, we'll have the remainder of the series. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Whew, we just wrapped up with our 3rd game of the series. We are halfway through, potentially here. The pressure is on. The pressure is on. Again, here he had a very strong start to game number 3 on Sandworm, but it slipped through his fingers. He got punished. He was a little bit too greedy in his follow-up, and he did pay the price for it. And now we are getting into our next game. We're loading into Pylon, potentially the final game of the series. Pressure's on. And this morning, in the bottom right-hand corner of Pylon, we have the blue Terran player. We have the blue Terran. We have the French Terran representing Team Liquid. Oh, it is Clem. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss from South Korea. It is a herO. Pressure is on. One more loss and he is going to be knocked down to the lower brackets. Hello, Mr. SCV. As Clem, he does move out towards the edge of the map. And he does avoid the main scouting path. He's going to be moving in for another eBay block. the third time in the series. Third time in the series that does slip by, and we'll see if herO is able to catch wind of this early enough and deny the block. Yeah, let's go. He does move down. eBay has begun, and herO will get a quick scout on the engineering bay. So with that, he can pull the boys. Yep, the boys are being pulled. Going to be 5 probes in total. We'll focus on the SCV, we'll focus on the eBay, and from here, herO will be able to expand. So Clem, he does force this reaction, he does delay the economy of herO, but herO will be able to expand on location. He won't be split between his third base and his main. Clem does cancel. Back at him, going for the CC before Starport. Economic follow-up out of Clem. We're not rushing into early Hellions or rushing into early Cyclones. No need to. And from here, we're calming down. You see here moving out. Interesting. We'll see if he scouts. We'll see if he sets up a pylon. For now, just going for the scout. Checking the greed. We'll confirm the CC. So he's aware of the command center timing. He knows. Knows that he's going to be safe. And that we can build up into a longer game. Again, if he saw the earlier factory, then, I mean, he would need an earlier shield battery to defend against Cyclone aggression or Hellion aggression. But herO knows that he has map control, and is opening up Twilight Council. Now, we have seen a variation of Twilight Council builds this series. We've seen 3-gate blink into a third, we've seen 3-gate blink robo into gases, and you stay on 2 bases. We have seen charged base openers in the past, not in this series yet, and we have seen 4-gate blink Stalker, with mixed success. We saw that last game on Sandworm. What are we going for this time? Twilight Council is done. Second gateway is on the way. No shot we go 2-gate. No shot we go 2-gate blink on pylon. No shot. So they chase down the Marines. 1, 2 Marines going down. 3 Marines even. Oh no! Ooh. We'll lose a Stalker. As I believe, yeah, that is the only second gateway. Okay, so 2-gate opener into the robo into double gases. Oh. He takes all 4 gases on 2 bases before expanding. Up! Stalker gets punished. Nice pickup. Stalker does go down. Clem breaking out. Behind this, going for a second Rax. Did go for a 1-1-1 setup into Liberators, not Banshee. Going for the early Lib, going for the early tank. This screams early push. Clem is going for a very early move out. He will have vanilla Marines, but he'll have a heavy tank out and, of course, Liberator as well. That'll add a lot of extra DPS. A lot of firepower. This can hit quite hard. And it's go time. Ooh, gonna be harassing. Okay, does harass with Liberator, not with the main army. Clem, he's taking up. And let's see how much damage here it does sustain. Trading with the Marines. Oh, there's Rico back home. Everybody gets 4 probe kills. Very nice. 4 workers go down. Here it does chase. Not the best trade though. Bleeding out a lot of Stalkers. It's gonna be one Stalker falling. And Clem, he's in a pretty solid position here. From here, we should soon be expanding and getting a third CC. Yep, there it is. Third CC is on the way. Sniping the observer. From here, Clem is getting the stim, combat shields, again faster third CC. Clem is in a really nice position. herO is trying to recover by claiming his own third base and rushing into Storm. Now herO is behind, but with some well-placed Storms, he can recover, he can fight back. But herO is going to be heavily reliant on these Storms. Clem does move out. Storm is going to be ready for this. How many had Templar? 4. 2 in the Prism. Storms are coming in. Lands 1. Very nice. Oh, he does stack there. Yeah, he stacks Storms. One connects, the other does not. herO being a little bit careless with his Storms. Yeah, he throws around too many. Storms coming in. And here he's trying to hold on here. There isn't that much fire. Despite that, gets one of the Archons. It's one. It's an Archon. You can see Clem trying to cut back within range of the cat, or within range of the tanks. Again, it's just a really rough setup here for herO. Oh, as the Immortal goes down, Storm grazes the army, and Clem just overwhelming. Oh, we do have a lot of reinforcements though. herO, can he break this? Goes to the dive. Gets one, gets both tanks, and herO, he is holding on. I say that we have a rally here of reinforcements. Un poquito más. Ah, not quite. herO holds. Whew, here he does hold on. Behind this, Clem's still ahead. Clem is still up in workers, he's still up in saturation, he has mules and all with this. The Ghost Academy is done, getting into Ghosts themselves. We have some safety Vikings on the way in case Colossus do a mass. Clem just covering all his corners. And again, outside of the army taking some massive storms to the face, there's not much here that herO has available to him. Outside of drop play. But the prisoners for the main army. Comes in for the storm. Storm does connect. The very nice splits here by Clem. Splits well. As well, pulls away. And again, outside of Clem fumbling massive fights, he should be able to run away with this. It is one of those things where you never want to count out Storm. It's reason to be 5 High Templar. Clem turns everything around. This will delay Clem. Move forward. Oh, snipe popping up. Storms for now, they mainly zone away. There's the second storm. Can these next set of storms connect? Oh, Clem, he still splits. He still splits well. Yeah, the storms, they didn't really do much. the storms, they do nothing, Pappy. They do nothing. Ah, no. Feel storm, man. And Clem, he's going for the kill. Finds the desperation cell run by it. Trying to catch out another immortal. Yes, from here again, the storms are just trying to buy some time, but here comes the surround. Marines and Marauders, they get a full 360 surround, and herO will lose everything. The storms, Templar, the Immortals, and from here, Clem, he can just send it. He can aim it. He can aim it across the map. Back at home, there's 2 Templar. We can go for the NG overcharge. We can maybe get a storm off. EMPs do connect. Into the handful of Zelda remaining. Oh, there's the NG overcharge. That's the first storm. First storm does connect. The second one less so. And GG gets called. Clem, he will take the series 3-1, advancing on to the upper bracket semis. GG. GG, well played. Again, the writing was on the wall here for this one for quite some time. Clem just had a really strong start. Winding it back, if you remember, Clem, he pushed out early towards a third base with the early tank, with the early bio setup, and we saw that here he attempted a storm defense, but out of the initial 3 storms, 1 connected. Like, he was very trigger happy with his storms, did not connect the way that he needed them to. We saw the early push, then breakthrough, it snowballed out of control, trade well against the main army, and Clem took a massive lead early on. He maintained it, kept it going. GG, well played with that. Congratulations to Clem, as he does claim the series. And with that, we are now going to be getting ready for our next matchup here. Again, we still have 2 best of 5s remaining. Up next is going to be, actually, you can just see it here and now. Bam. As you can see here, up next we do have herO versus Bunny. You can see on the bracket here towards my top left, we have herO versus Bunny and Rainer versus Zaun. 2 series remaining. We're going to be going on a break. When we come back, herO and Bunny are going to be coming at you soon. See you then.